Hello everyone and welcome back to That Engineering Girl. Today I want to talk about the things that I wish I knew before entering engineering. Now these are things that would have exponentially helped me in my engineering degree if I just knew them before entering engineering. It would have saved me so much time, so much pain, so much suffering. So I really want to share these with you to hopefully save you the time, pain, and suffering that I went through. So without further ado, here are the 5 things that I wish I knew before entering my engineering degree. So let's get into it. Alright, so the very first thing that I wish I knew before entering engineering is that you can use a Mac, but it'll be extremely hard to use it. Now this is with exception to software engineering. If you're in software engineering, you'll probably actually be disadvantaged if you don't use a Linux type system. If you use a Windows system, you'll most likely be disadvantaged actually. But for any other type of engineering, which includes mine, which is electrical engineering, you will actually be disadvantaged if you use a Linux type system, if you don't use a Windows operating system. So deciding to go with a Mac operating system, personally, great decision. Academically, absolutely terrible decision, and I would not make the same decision if I was to go back to the beginning of my engineering degree when I was buying a laptop. I would choose a Windows laptop specifically for my degree. Like I said, not my personal life, but specifically for my degree, I would choose a Windows laptop. Now 2, and this is probably the most important thing in this video, is that engineering will be as hard as you think it is. Now because I went in thinking, oh my god, engineering is so hard, I worked 24/7. But as I've worked through my degree and finishing my 3rd year this year, I realized that engineering is as hard as you think it will be. If you think it's super hard, you're gonna work super hard to get those marks, do well, and so on and so forth. But if you leave your assumptions at the door and take it in stride and work as hard as you need to work, then life will be so much easier for you. And I sincerely mean this. Like, engineering is not as hard as the majority of the population thinks it is. So leave that assumption at the door when you enter your degree and work as hard as you need to, not as hard as you think you need to. Number 3, and this ties into number 2, but there's enough time to do other things. Now, along with the assumption that engineering is super hard, there's also the underlying assumption that you can't do anything as an engineering student. All you do is study 24/7. And what this means is you have time to do nothing else. You don't have time to take care of your mental health, you don't have time to take care of your physicality, you don't have time to do anything but study. And this is simply just not true. Like I said, after finishing my 3rd year of my degree, I've realized how much time I actually do have to do other things in my life that are not related to studying or getting better marks and so on and so forth, that are not directly related to my degree progression. So the lesson learned is there's enough time to do other things. Now 4, and I really wish I knew this before entering my engineering degree, and that is studying in a 4.0 is not enough. As soon as you know what degree or what stream you're going to be going into, and this might be as you're entering engineering actually, because a lot of schools don't have a first common year, which my university has. So the first year is the same for every engineering student, and then after that you get to choose which stream you're going into. Once you know which stream you're in, do not only study. No, get onto some teams, do some real life projects, play around, do anything, just tinker, get your hands on things, but get real experience. Only getting good grades, not enough. I promise you, as soon as you know your stream, get real experience with your hands. Make projects, and that's the biggest thing for internships and real life experience, is you need to tinker and you need projects. So as soon as you know, get on those projects, because believe me when I say they will make your life so much easier when you're looking for internships, so much easier. and they'll also give you a lot of knowledge that the classroom does not. So please, as soon as you know your stream, get tinkering. Now number 5, and this is specifically for, I would say, anyone that does anything that's code related, so mainly electrical and software engineering students, but you know, mech kids might be in there as well. So if you're doing anything that's code-like, learn a version control system like Git. Now, you may or may not know what I'm talking about, but Git is a version control system, and if you're curious what that means, go search it up, or maybe I'll make a video along the lines of this somewhere down the road. Essentially, learn a version control system as soon as you get into your degree, and in that system, track all your projects, all the libraries you use, the technologies you've used, what each project is for, how to launch them, so on and so forth. And in that video that I actually make, I'll talk about this, is how I set up my version control and what I track and the things that I do. But essentially, as soon as you start your degree, get a version control system set up and put all of like your projects in there. Brain dump all of your projects in there and track them in there. Believe me when I say this will make your life extremely easy, and it will save your soul. It will literally save your soul. So please, please, please do this when you get into your degree. Alright, so those are the 5 things that I wish I knew before I entered into my engineering degree. I hope these things have helped you out, and I hope you've learned from these learnings essentially, and I hope that you can apply them in your own life to make your journey through engineering easier than mine was. So without further ado, or actually, so with that, I'm gonna say until next time.